Okay. Okay, record. So welcome to ANA 600 Fundamentals of Data Analytics class. And my name is Sumit Gunasekara. I'm an associate professor of statistics and data analytics at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. And this is kind of like I've been teaching this class several times, and this I've been asked that the dean of your college to teach this class even this time. The last time I was teaching that next class too. So again, that I'm going to teach even the 605 in the next month. So welcome to this class, and then you know that I have sent you that pretty much the syllabus. The syllabus is already that on Blackboard. Okay, it's on the Blackboard, and then you can see we can go through this kind of like a syllabus a little bit in the very beginning. And then I sent you that something for you guys to like install R. I hope that you guys have already installed R with the different platforms, like a different IDs like R Studio, then using that the Anaconda Navigator, using that one, that Jupyter, even Jupyter inside that one we have R, and then DataCamp within that sandbox that we can even that run the that R programming. Okay, so I want to make it very clear one thing, that this class is very intensive. Okay, because that we have so normally this kind of a material we're going to cover within 15 weeks. 15 weeks in like a regular that the course setting, we're going to cover this one within 15 weeks. That it has been condensed to just to 4 weeks. Okay, this is a lot of work, because in that if you go ahead and look at the syllabus, you can see that we have to have a discussion board, then the homework, quizzes, midterm, final exam, and all kind of stuff. And I don't think that we have any grade for attendance. Okay. So before that, I'm going to move on, that keep going, that I want to make sure that you guys can hear from that side, because I'm teaching from that Chattanooga, Tennessee. I am like 3 hours that ahead of you. Actually, that here time is like 8:30, 8:32 right now. Okay. So I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you see me? If everything is clear on your side, before I'm going to go ahead and then get into the everything. Yeah, good, good. Okay, very good. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. So little bit that I'm gonna that and on the other hand that that homework and everything, that because sometimes you have not done R, or that you might have used in that different kind of a programming language earlier, you might not have done anything at all. But don't worry about anything. Okay, don't worry about anything. Don't get panic. Don't don't freak out of anything. Okay, you are in good hands, and like Allstate Insurance. Okay, you are in good hands, and then you will be given a more time. That, let's say for instance, that even for the homework, even that I put like all the deadlines. I have a set up the deadline. Actually, I didn't put the deadline. Deadline is being set up by the university, that the college, because this is a very structured the course, because that it's been everything set up for us to teach. That's it. So even that syllabus, some parts we cannot change. So that if you need more time, just let me know. That don't worry about that one. Take your time and finish your homework, exams, quizzes. And especially that when it comes to the quizzes, I'm planning to give the quizzes based on our UCLA e-textbook. I hope that you guys have already accessed that one up to a certain point. And then you just to navigate on that one, and you familiarize with the material. So mainly we are trying to utilize that textbook. It has been given to us freely, because that they got a huge grant for that structure in this kind of a textbook. It's a really good textbook. It's going to cover pretty much the statistics, data analytics, and programming. You know, data analytics is not merely just simply just get some data and then analyze and then give it back to the client. Okay, you have to have a really good background on statistics. You really need to have a tools. The tools are coming from statistics. You are using the statistical tools. That's why this textbook is kind of like a covering pretty much everything, like the programming to data analytics plus statistics. So this is a great book. Okay, So in this textbook, in this class, we are planning to cover 7 chapters. 7 chapters, okay? So we're going to cover 7 chapters, like 2 chapters per week. It's a little bit intensive, 2 chapters per week, and pretty much a lot of material, sometimes programming, okay? But once you get used to that one, it's not a big deal, okay? If you haven't even seen this one, done anything at all programming, don't worry about anything, okay? We can build up everything piece by piece, very slowly and steadily, but at the same time, we have to expedite everything too. When it comes to that homework, that even though that I have given you like a flexible time period, even though that we have that fixed deadline, let's say that Sunday midnight, so say you might need more time, like another couple of days, or maybe like a 3-4 days, doesn't matter, but make sure that you're gonna try to turn in homework on time. In that I can post answers for those homework or midterms or the quizzes. In that you can compare, contrast, and see that what kind of mistakes you have done, or whether what kind of a method that I am being using over here that is that way completely different than yours or something like that. You can do that kind of comparison. Okay, so but be flexible. Don't we don't have any very heavy tied up deadlines over here, and for the quizzes, you know that the homework are already available on Blackboard. Can you see the homework, the first homework? I'm not getting into the first homework, but at least the first week homework. Can you see first week homework? Can you access first week homework? Let me see. Yes. Let me see that. Okay, I'm gonna share. No, let's go to this one. Week 1. Okay, I'm gonna share the other screen. So week 1. Can you see? I don't think you cannot see, no? This one? Can you see this one? Talking about the week 1 homework from the Blackboard.
Yeah, mine doesn't have week 1 assignment.
Yeah, you cannot see because I blocked that one because this item is hidden from student. I don't think that you can see.
I just have week 1 reading, week 1 practice, week 1 PowerPoint slides, and week 1 quiz.
Oh, okay, that's right. Those are available already. No, the PowerPoint and these two, these are available. I don't think this part is available on your side. See, this is the week 1 assignment. This is the week 1 assignment. This the week 1 quiz is for the week 1 quiz. What I'm planning to do when it comes to that. Sorry, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and open this one. Okay, this is the UCLA e-textbook. So here that when you cover that 2 chapters, we are supposed to cover 2 chapters. For the first quiz 1, I'm planning to assign you. I'm going to let you do that chapter 1 and chapter 2, which we're supposed to cover within this week. Those that the chapter 1 review questions, see, review questions will be considered. I have my answers on my side, okay? But when it comes to that on your side, if you go ahead and open that one, that chapter end review questions, those 2 sets will be considered as the quiz 1. When it comes to the quiz 3, which is going to be on the 3rd week, by the time we are covering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 and 6 would be that 5 and 6 that chapter end review questions would be the quiz 2. That's what I'm planning to do. So that's why you're not going to have it, because that even on my side the quiz not been that uploaded over here. But do you want me to make this one available? Week 1 assignment. Do you want me to make this available? Okay, okay, I can make it available. Now you can see. Yeah. Yes. See, now you can see the same thing that I see on this side, you should see on your side as well. Okay. So that's something that I would like to talk about, that mainly that one, then a little bit talk about the syllabus, and then we can more systematically more. Okay, this particular course doesn't have any prerequisite, you know that one. This is the UCLA textbook that embedded with R programming, because they're going to use that, not R Studio. They are using that data camp, that sandbox. You have seen that one. This is, see, if you go ahead and look at this one, the places where we're going to run program, we don't have this. That has been embedded within this textbook, electronic textbook. That's the interesting part. Very interesting. So let's say that doing statistics with R somewhere. See, look at, when you run that one, you can get the results on this R console. See, like that. So this is called that data camp sandbox. That's the one that I was talking about, that 4 ways to that. You have to have that in, just in case you have to have R Studio, Jupyter Notebook, and that data camp. In that way, that if sometimes when you're going to run that your program, if sometimes you're going to get stuck on R, then you can jump into R Studio. Gets stuck, that you can jump into that Jupyter Notebook. If they are getting stuck, then you can go to data camp and run the program like that. That's why there's no way that you're going to miss any of your homework. But if you get stuck on any platform, or that, these are called the IDs, interactive data, that environment, or those are called the editors. Okay, so like that. Okay, so did you, that's the first thing I want to ask you, that while I'm going through the syllabus with you a little bit, did you that do you have anything on that, this UCL e-textbook? Everybody can access that one. That's the part that I want to make sure first. Everybody. Yeah, if anybody has any question on that one, because I put all the details, information, okay, please let me know. We can discuss about that one, or everything. I don't want you to go to the class, that when we're done with the class today, that I don't want you to have any questions or curiosity on anything like that. I want everything to be that sort out. Okay, so if you can access this book, that's the first thing. Okay. And then while I'm talking about the syllabus, I would like to know whether that you have installed, you have a R Studio, or at least R Studio and R on your the computers. If not, let me know, that we can install right now. And then how about that Anaconda Navigator? In the Anaconda Navigator, there are so many IDs. And if you have installed that one based on the instruction that I sent to you today, in the morning, that you can see there are, from those IDs or the editors, we call the editors, or IDs or platforms, we can just use that Jupyter Notebook. Okay, please go ahead and I want you to install right now. Okay, we can take time. I can wait while I'm going through this detail. Please install right now. Okay, please. Because I don't want anybody to get procrastinate on anything and get behind on anything. I want everybody to keep the same pace. Okay, just please install that. We are waiting while I'm going through this some stuff on this syllabus. Okay. On the syllabus, it clearly says that that we are covering pretty much that 2 chapters per week. See, 2 chapters, and the second week that first week 1 and 2, and 3 and 4. And 5 and 6. Last week we're going to have only 1 chapter, and we have a quiz 1. As I said earlier, quiz 1 is based on the chapter in review questions from chapter 1 and 2 from this one. Okay, I think I showed you earlier that since I don't want to show you too much, but that's okay. It's not a big deal that I can show you. Okay, see these questions. Okay. Once you do that one, what's going to happen, all the information will be the recorded over here. Then I can download those data. Then I know that who had done that quizzes and how many questions that you made right on that one. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about making any mistakes. Okay, you're going to get the full credit for just go ahead and do this chapter in the review questions, and then we can discuss about that one. Then you're going to get the full credit. I want you to do that one and then get practice. Okay, So that's for the first quiz, chapter 1 and 2. This is for the chapter 1 review questions. And this one and this one should be, both should be, and actually come together like 3. Okay, see, the chapter 2 has like a 2 sets. 2 sets. You have to do pretty much everything. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go over here and then download the data. Data will tell you that who had taken this quizzes, and then I have all the information. Then I can easily put the grade. Okay, that's for the quiz 1. See? And chapter 2 has 2 sets of questions. Just simply do while we will go this all the information, details, and all the theory behind this one, and then all the programming. You are in a good shape. Okay. I don't want anybody to get behind. I don't want anybody to just to the freak out and then drop this class and say, because you have to face this situation. You cannot keep just not taking the class, then stay with the class. Okay, you are in a good shape. Okay, you need more time, let me know. You need help, you need any one-on-one help, just let me know. We can schedule time. Okay, anytime. Everybody in the class, if they really need one-on-one, that's what I did the last time. So many students, they really needed that one-on-one helping session. I did that one. And the other thing that I want to tell you that I would like to have my office hours. It's not a kind of like office hours. It's like a helping session. Wednesday, pretty much the same time in your time, in a Pacific Standard Time, 5:30 to 6:30 or 5:30 to 7:30. I would like to have that session as well. That means that during that time we can talk about. I can discuss your homework assignments, midterm test, quizzes, and if you have any kind of a question, we can sort that out. Okay. So keep that in mind too. Wednesday, I'm planning to have that office hours. I think that's why I put something over here. See, so I'm telling you here, but this is not the time. I think time should be like a. If you want, I can put here in my. I'm gonna put in my time 8:30 means like it's a 5:30. Okay, 5:30 because when I 5:30 to 7:30 or 6:30, I put for 1 hour. But if you want, I can stay as much as that you guys want. It's not a big deal. So that's about that office hours. Okay, Wednesday. So if you get stuck with anything, we can talk about that one. Okay. So then just week 2 that we can have a 3 and 4. Then you can have midterm, and then homework. The homework as well. You have a 2 sets pretty much every week. End of this week, you can have a quiz 1 as well as that your homework assignment. The second week, midterm test and homework. And then when it comes to that week 3, what you're supposed to do again for the quiz 2, you are supposed to do that the 5 and 6 chapter end review questions, those sets. Okay, those sets. The way that I was explaining to you for chapter 1 and 2. So those would be your quiz 2 plus that homework assignment. Okay. Then again, at the end of the final week, you're going to have a final exam as well as assignment 4. In addition to that one, discussion board. Okay, see, you're supposed to. This is a lot of writing. Okay, a lot of work, but that's the way how this course being structured. Okay, but please, that if you feel like that you don't find a time to just go ahead and then write on the discussion, because on the discussion board, let's go ahead and look at the discussion board. What we are supposed to do on discussion board. Let's see. Everything, all the question every question has been already set up. See, for the week 1, you have 3 questions. See, 3 discussions. Week 1, discussion 1, week 1, discussion 2, week 1, discussion 3. See, you're supposed to do that just to answer this one as well as at least answer to that other 2 or I think 1 or at least 2 students' answers. But if you feel like that you don't have that much time to write too much on this one, don't worry about that one too much. Okay, when it comes to that second week, we have week 2 discussion 1, week 2 has 2 discussions, week 3 again 2 discussions, week 4 again 2 4 last 3 weeks, except for the first one, we have a 3. See, please take a moment to introduce yourself to the class. If you want, you can just I actively participate in this discussion, or if anybody find like, okay, I'm just don't have that much time to that write too much, don't worry about that one too much. Okay, mainly focus on your homework, quizzes, midterm test, and final exam, and then get a good knowledge on the programming and statistics and data analytics. Okay, that's the key part. So that's that one. Then yeah, then the grades are based on that. See, these are the grading assignment for the 100 points per each one. Then 400 discussion about 25 points. You're gonna get 100. See. So pretty much every week for the even that you have a 3 discussion over there for all these 3 discussion, you're gonna get only 25 points. Okay. And the second week you're gonna have a 2 discussion, third week 2, fourth week 2, but still you get the 25 points. And midterm testing being given out of 150, final exam and midterm. And quiz, each quiz worth like 100 points. Okay. So totally you have 1,000. Based on 1,000, that we can figure out that as a percentage where your grade would be. Okay, the grade will be standing at. Okay, and these are that very generic stuff that you might have seen. Okay, earlier. Any question on anything on this syllabus? Anything? Any question? Anything? Okay. Okay? What's the question? Anybody has any question? Yeah, you can ask. Anything you want to discuss on this syllabus about your homework, assignments, time period? Yeah. Yeah, just logging in. You don't have to put that on Wednesday. You don't have to just come like same like today. Yeah, I'm gonna make that this one the Blackboard Collaborate make available for you, that you have to just log into that one. But if you need a like one-on-one session, then you have to just email me and then say, hey, this day I'm available. Okay, would you mind that come and then help me out for homework like that? Okay, Wednesday I'm gonna set up the same like today. Okay, yeah. So that's that one. Then even that another day, if you want that another day to keep that, it's fine. Even Friday, it doesn't matter. Any day that for that whole class to meet on like a officers, that is not a big deal. Okay, I'm gonna make myself available to make sure that you guys gonna be very successful on this course. Okay, at the end of the day, that's the key part. That's our target, and but that's what we are trying to achieve at the end of the day. So those are that. Anything on that quiz? If anything not clear about the quizzes, the midterm, and then and the final exam will be. I'm gonna make that one available on my side. Okay, this is already. If you want that, I can make those everything available ahead of the time. It's not a big deal. Okay, so like for instance, that. This one now available. If you go to this week 2, see on my side, see my side, it's see this assignment, this is a midterm testing. It's not too long. See like that. Okay, so pretty much the same way the final exam. Sometime most of the time I'm gonna make pretty much everything available to you based on that your request. Okay, so you don't have to worry about anything. Okay, so that's that in the syllabus. I think pretty much that. Then if you go to, and on the other hand, if you need some resources, see course resources. See, this one has all the resources. What I'm gonna do that I'm gonna set up that this one over here later on. Okay, this one I can set up. I can set up inside this. The Blackboard too. This one, the Canvas, our UCLA textbook. So in that way, you have that one. Most of the time, I'm gonna post all the answers and everything over here. Grade will be that posted on the grade center. Okay, like that. Sorry. So any question before that? We're gonna go ahead and get this started. So everybody, as of now, you have that R Studio. Let's say mainly R Studio. I'll show you that pretty much everything. This is in my computer. This is my R. See, this is R. See that R. It doesn't have an editor. See, just a console only. See, when you type in something, you see that if you run this one, that later on that you cannot do any kind of a editing on this one. That's why they move on to another kind of a platform called the R Studio. Look at this is R Studio. See, it's an ID. Actually, it's an ID for R. R is that basic one is R. This is an ID. Okay. So okay, let's wait. Let me see. I'm gonna try different. Oh, wait, so screen deleted. See, look at it's completely different than the R. Here that you can write everything. See, this is the editor. See, you can write over here, and then this is the console. You can write over here too, and both places you can write the program here as well as here. If you write here, you have to make sure that when you write that each line should be run. See, you're gonna just click on this run for you to get results. Here, if you write anything on this console, you have to just press enter on your keyboard. Then it will run the program. On here, it's gonna show you that the data, whatever the data you have imported from outside, or whatever the data you are utilizing, gonna show over here. This part you're gonna see all the plots. When you do the plots, files, see your directory and the packages, then help, viewer, everything gonna be over here. That's why this is gonna be more powerful than R. Look at the R, we have nothing, just simply this one only. See, and on R Studio you can delete anything, whatever you write. That if you don't like that one, you can the brush off. See, you have a brush here to yeah, Python. Yeah, the Anaconda is the whole navigator. Inside that one, you have a Python as well. Yeah, I'm gonna show you that one. See, I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, I'm gonna open Anaconda Navigator now. That's the R console. Okay, I'm gonna open Anaconda Navigator to show you that where the R would be. See, so once you install that Navigator, the way that I have instructed you, that you can even get the R inside the Jupyter Notebook, which is an ID of this Anaconda. So open it. There you see. See, so see, this is the navigator. This would pretty much all these are IDs. See, out of ID, R Studio is still over here to see. It has an R Studio. Then in order to use the R Studio, that you have to install. You don't have to install from here. That you have already installed separately R Studio. So this is the one I'm talking about. See, within this one you can see Python. Within this one you can see that. Okay. See, when you launch this one, you can get the Python inside that notebook. You can get the R inside that this is Jupyter Notebook. And on the other hand, the latest one called Julia, you can get on this one. Okay, I'm gonna launch this one for you to see. Once you install that one, that's another place. It's a very nice place for you to work with the R. See. Okay, now you're gonna go here. See, go to new. Look at here. See, I have a Julia, I have a Python, I have R. Everything in the same platform. I can interchangeably go back and forth between R and Python and Julia. See, let's say I'm going to click on R. See, that's my R. whatever that code you're gonna write over here, you run. You're gonna see very nicely that they were that spread out later on that when you do that. Then if you don't like to work on this one, you can go back to go back to Python. If you want to work with Python, see. Yeah, I have to mention you something too, that if you don't like to work with R, you can work with the Python. Okay, I'm okay with that one. You can write the codes in R or Python or Julia, that's okay. But I don't highly recommend you to use SAS, okay? Because if you want to use the SAS is a different course, okay? So I prefer that if you say that if you're really good in Python, go ahead and use Python. I don't mind. You're still gonna get I'm okay with any of the three languages, any of these, okay? And even the SAS is okay, but I don't recommend because we have a different course for that one. That when you come along with the SAS, so that's why that these three pretty much go together. See, this is the place you're gonna get that one. See, Julia or Python or R, any of these for your order that homework, midterm and final exam, you can use that any of these. I'm okay. I'm fine. Okay. So this is how you're gonna get to that one. See, the other one is the data camp. Data camp already you have to sign up for that data camp, and then you can get that R sandbox the same way that we were having that one on this UCLA textbook. Sorry, not this one. Okay, let me check. Yeah, I'm gonna check that one UCLA textbook here. I think I'm looking for that one. Okay, let's get from Canvas straight. Let me see. This textbook. See, as I mentioned earlier, that see, this is that data camp sandbox. So this is like a R console and the script R, same thing that you saw on this R Studio. You see, script R Studio. Sorry, I'm sorry, the R console. See, there's a console on this side. It has been given vertically. See, this way. Here, this way. See, you can write here and then run too. See, print, okay, and then run easy. That when you run over here and then when you run that, you're going to get the results on this side. Okay. So that's why I mentioned, I sent you something for you to that install that if you're planning to work on that R, let's say that, okay, R, you get stuck. Go to R Studio, see, like this, and get stuck. Go to Jupyter, see, and then from that one, see, go over here. From here, you can pick whatever the language you are planning to use, R or Python or Julia. So based on that one, you can run the program. You're not going to get stuck. Okay, sometimes you're working on the one platform, you get stuck. You don't have to waste time on that, working on that until you're going to get that fixed. You can still working on the another platform. That's the reason why I asked you to that install pretty much all these 3 or 4 that IDs. Okay. Okay. Any question on this Anaconda R Studio R? Before I move on, see here when we run the program, you can see that for your curiosity that sometimes I can hold on. I can show you something. But week one. Hold on. I'm gonna close this one. Okay. Now I'm gonna open this one. See. Yeah. You want to do. See, this is how that. This is kind of like a, that. See, this is how we're gonna. I think this is a assignment 1 too. But see, this is how that we're gonna see. If you wanna have something that you see, you get to that your cursor here that you're gonna just run here, or you're gonna get this one and copy this one and then paste here, or that type in over here and then press enter. That would pretty much produce the same results. You're gonna run here, you're gonna see the results here. Okay, see, once you run here, you're gonna see the results here. Okay, like that. See, then that in order for this to run, that we're gonna talk about the packages, some functions and all kind of stuff. Okay, one by one systematically. See, so when I call this data, see, I'm importing this data from where I have installed. See, I'm gonna get this consumer data. Before that, I have to access the directory, and then you're gonna go through that path where I have that save that my data, and then I'm gonna set that to like a some kind of like a data directory, or call the location inner. See, and we're gonna get pretty much all these. Okay, and later on get the data import inside. Once you import, it's gonna appear here. Data gonna appear here. Okay, so this is the data set. That data set has been given along with that that homework. You can remember. See, see this is the assignment 1, that homework 1. See, this is the data set. It's in Excel, that spreadsheet. See, that's the data sheet. So this data set. See, these are the, see, it's in a data frame. See, spreadsheet that you're gonna import this data into our platform and then work on that one. Okay, mainly see, this is the data set. So we're gonna talk about all these in detail. Okay, this is how we're gonna do, but don't worry about anything. We're gonna just go through one by one, and then you're gonna see at the end of the day. Once I recall this one from that location, see, you see, it's gonna appear here. See, that my data location. See, and then I'm gonna set that to that this the working directory. WD means working directory. See, then I'm gonna call my data. See, see my data. This is the name of the data now. Consumer data, consumer underscore data CSV become my data. I changed the name. I gave my own name. Then if you go ahead and then type in that one, see, so my data. If you get this guy, see, it means like we're gonna talk about all this. See, you get that same thing that you saw on this one. See, first 6 entries. First 6 entries will be displayed. Same thing that you have over here. See, household kits, vehicle, price expected. Sorry, household kits, vehicles, price expected, income. See, 62352. See, like that. See, verse of stock. Same thing gonna appear here, but when I put the head, instead of getting the whole data set, you can have only the first 6 entries. Okay, anyhow, that we're gonna talk about everything in detail. Okay. Any question on R Studio, that Anaconda Navigator, that Jupyter Notebook, R, how to get R inside the Jupyter Notebook, and then DataCamp Sandbox. It's the right time. Okay, we can discuss. Take your time and discuss. Okay, don't worry. That's why we are having this class, to discuss and then sort out everything. Okay. Excuse me. If you have personally, that individually you have any question, this is the right time. Okay. Discuss. Don't worry about that whether you don't know. No, it doesn't matter. If you have any question, you can discuss. Okay. Before I'm gonna just get on to the material and then move forward. Anything not clear? Okay, let me know. Okay, if if you don't have any question, then let's go ahead and get started on this one. Okay, we can jump into that chapter 1. Welcome to Statement Modeling and Processing. So here, that statistics. Why we want to learn about the statistics in first place? I mean, like we were talking about the data analytics. We just jump into statistics. As I mentioned in the very beginning, data analytics is not of the data scientist. In order to become that great or elegant data scientist, you have to be really, really good in statistical procedures. It's very important. If you don't know the statistical procedures, you cannot tackle the data. Massive data, it doesn't matter, small data or large data set or extremely massive data set. Billion data points, data sets we have too, because of that when people watch that the World Cup, the soccer game World Cup, that's the time that you can get the largest number of data points, because more than 4 billion people, around 4 billion people are gonna watch that one. Some people have keep a track on that, how many people have watched that one, and their duration and everything, and then we have that kind of a huge, massive data set too. When you have a huge data set, sometimes in order to tackle those one, you're gonna separate that into parts. You're gonna get a portion by portion and then tackle that one. There are so many techniques you're going to utilize. That's why that the techniques doesn't come in the data analytics. These are come in statistics. Those are everything in statistical procedures. So that's why we jump into statistics. In the statistics, mainly what we're going to do here, see, mainly we're going to learn about the variations. Okay, in statistics, see, we have said the statistics study of variation. That's it. What's gonna vary? Any quantity, anything that you think of like that, height, weight, income, okay, everything. The lifetime of a battery, lifetime of like a TV, lifetime of electronic, mechanical, electronic, mechanical, electric, or chemical component, any lifetime. Pretty much everything gonna be varying there, because they are varying. Okay, that variation can be studied. Let's say that if you take the two individuals, their height's not gonna be the same. The height's gonna change from individual to individual. Income gonna change from individual to individual. GPA gonna change from individual to individual. Pretty much everything varying. They're not deterministic. They're very probabilistic, very varying all the time. Okay. So that's why we have to learn the statistics, okay? So then in order to learn statistics, what they're going to do, they come up with the models. See? They come up with a certain model. Models are that sometimes that down the road at the end of this course that you're going to see that most important model would be the regression model. And instead of talking about one variable, variables means like whatever that quantity that is varying from individual to individual. Any quantity, as I mentioned earlier, let's say height. For instance, let's say height. It's going to change from person to person. It's not deterministic. It is very varying. So it is a variable. So that if that's the variable can be modeled with a statistical, some kind of a model. But later on, instead of looking for one variable, we're going to look at the two variables. Let's say that height, and what's the relationship between the height and weight? What's the relationship between that income, the salary, and then the experience? It may be the categorical data. It may be quantitative data. When it's come to the variable, you have to know how the data would be classified. It's important. Okay, data or variables would be classified. There's a classification. Okay, the mainly data can be classified into two parts: quantitative variables and the categorical variable. Qualitative variable and quantitative variable. Quantitative variables are called the numerical variables, which has like a numbers. That's not the numbers. Numbers can be added, subtracted, multiply, and divide. But categorical data, it's just a label. But sometimes that categorical data consists of numbers. For instance, driver's license, street numbers. Okay, those are categorical data, even though that they consist of the numbers. For those numbers, when you come to like a street addresses, you cannot add or subtract and get like a meaningful another address. That's why we're gonna say those are not quantitative, those are qualitative. Okay, like a football player's jersey number, those are qualitative, just the labels. Shoe size, just the label. Okay, then again that qualitative data can be divided into two parts, nominal and ordinal. Some data just the labels only, some data ordinal, you can order. Let's say that you have a qualitative data, for instance, like a grades A, B, C, D. Then if you subclassified that one, that can be ordered. Ordered means like you can say from that least grade to the highest one, no, highest grade to the least one. Either way, you can order that one. That's called ordinal. If it is just a street address, it's just a street address also can be ordered because they have been arranged in an order. Okay, like that kind of a situation, those two are ordinal. Okay. So like the gender or the ethnicity, those are just a label only. Then under the qualitative, you can just simply say the nominal. On the other hand, that on the quantitative setting, you have a quantitative data can be divided into two parts, discrete and continuous. Discrete and continuous. In continuous data, that every location, every point has been taken into account. There are no jumps. In discrete one, it has been discretized, like a one person, second person, third person, third person, like that. Like a number of people who are going to get into a bank in a given a certain period of time. Number of people who are going to get into like a certain restaurant. Those are discrete. And on the other hand, price of that any item, price, would that be continuous or discrete? Even though it consists of decimals, since it has been restricted for two decimal places, it's going to be discrete. Okay, we can a little bit talk about that one in detail. But later on, that discrete and continuous data again subclassified as an interval and ratio. But in our discussion, mainly when you see the data, we don't go that far. Okay, we don't go that far. So before that far, I'll show you something. Okay, that whatever I talk, I'm gonna just a little bit. I'm gonna open this and then I can write on this side. You can see clearly. Okay. Come on. Yeah, let's go. Okay. See that variable. So variables. I'm talking about the variables for data. See, data mainly divided into two parts. So qualitative. The other one is quantitative. For this one, we can first say the categorical. This one is, we can say, numerical. Qualitative means just like a label. Okay, they again can be divided into two parts, nominal and ordinal. This one divided into two parts, as I said earlier, discrete or continuous. See, then discrete one and continuous one again subclassified into interval or ratio. This one also interval or ratio. I'm going to say like this, ratio. See, ratio. See, that's the classification of the given data. But when in our discussion that we normally, when it comes talk about in our program, in this course, when we say that categorical data, we don't pay attention for this part. For this part. What this word? See, whether it's discrete or continuous or nominal or ordinal. So they're going to go for the qualitative data. They say categorical data. See, quantitative data. They simply put like this. See, quantitative, categorical data and quantitative data. They're going to call like that. So there are mainly in our discussion, there are only two types: categorical data and the quantitative data. The categorical data means the qualitative, or that based on the labels. Like as I mentioned earlier, that I gave several examples earlier. That you can talk about the street addresses, the jersey number of football players, and grades. Then if you're going to think about these three cited example, whether they're going to be nominal or ordinal, which one's going to be nominal? Nominal one would be the grades would be ordinal for sure. Street addresses would be ordinal for sure. Order, you can order from the least value to the highest value. Still categorical, but you can order. Okay, and nominal one would be the football players jersey number. On the other hand, here you can talk about the temperature, height, weight. See, those are numbers. See? So then let's say the price of any item. Then continuous, even though that we express the temperature as like a round number, approximately like a 70, 30, 50, or like that, it consists of all the values can be expressed. I mean, like you can express that your temperature as a decimal, as a fraction, doesn't matter in reality. But we don't gonna say that one when in colloquially, that we don't say that 70.5 like that. We normally say around 70, that's it. But that's gonna be continuous. But when it comes to the price of any item, as I mentioned earlier, since it has like only 2 decimal places, even though it has a decimal places does not guarantee that it's gonna be continuous. Here seems to have a restricted 2 decimal places for the price, because of that it's like internationally accepted that the price has to be kept to 2 decimal places, except for at the gas station you're gonna see the third one. But we don't want to worry about that one. That's the way how they are making the profit at the end of the day most of the time. So, but anyhow, it's going to be discrete because of the 2 decimal places, the restriction, because of the restriction. It cannot take as many decimal places as you want in between 2 consecutive numbers. Like let's say 2 and 3, if you go to 2 and 3, that between 2 and 3, there are infinitely many numbers. But the way that we're going to restrict it, you cannot go beyond 2nd decimal place. So because of that, it's going to be discrete. Again, that based on that your zero, you're looking at the zero value in that scale and see whether it makes any sense or not. Whether it's a placeholder or real zero. Based on that one, you can figure out whether it's going to be interval or ratio based on that one. Let's say, for instance, then if you go to the price going to be that we say the discrete, and the interval or ratio seems that if you go to the zero price, there's no price at all. That means that makes sense. That means it's ratio. That zero is not a placeholder. It is real zero. Because of that, it's going to be ratio. When on the other hand, that if you talk about the weight or temperature weight continuous for sure, that I mentioned the temperature here, the temperature continuous. Now we have to make sure it's going to be ratio interval. Would that be ratio interval? It depends on the how that been expressed in which unit, whether it's been expressed in Fahrenheit, degrees Fahrenheit, degrees Celsius, or degrees centigrade, or Kelvin. Okay. Based on that one, you're going to say that's going to be ratio interval. What that means, let's say that you're going to talk about your temperature Fahrenheit, that if you go to 0 Fahrenheit, would that be do we have a temperature beyond that point? Yes, we have a negatives. What would be the real zero? Real zero, you know that one. Okay, it's not the zero that we have negative temperatures, because of that when we talk about the zero is not just a real zero, it's a placeholder. Because of that one, if you express that your temperature in terms of Fahrenheit, it's going to be interval. So does with centigrade.
If you talk about the centigrade or Celsius, if you go to 0 Celsius, it's just a Pierce node. You still have that temperature gonna go all the way up to negative 273.5. That's the minimum temperature anybody can reach, but nobody can attain or reach that one. By the time you will be frozen and scattered into pieces, because that's so that cold. Okay, so because of that reason, that in Celsius or centigrade, that's gonna be interval. But let's say the same temperature has been expressed in terms of Kelvin. Kelvin 0 is a real 0. It is not a, it's a Kelvin 0 is nothing but the negative 273.5 degrees Celsius. So they both the same. If that's the case, then your temperature would be ratio. Okay, like that. Okay. But anyhow, in our discussion, we don't go that dig deeper that when you see any two variables, we don't go this deeper. This kind of a classification we don't go. That's only for your knowledge to get anything clarified. I assume that you have taken some stat classes. In those classes, you have a very clear kind of idea about how these classifications are made of. Okay. So anyhow, in our discussion, we mainly say that if you see something with categorical data, you're going to say category cat data and quantitative data. As I mentioned earlier, that sometimes they're down the road, but we're going to do, instead of working with one variable, you're going to talk about two variables. Then discussion is built up. You have a y on this axis, x on the here. Y quantitative variable, you're going to see how this quantitative variable is going to vary based on another quantitative variable. Or you're going to see that how this quantitative variable is going to be vary on based on categorical variable. That means, let's say, for instance, that later on, then see, you're going to put a quantitative data here, and I can put another quantitative data here and see how they vary. For instance, as an example, I say height. Here I'm going to put weight, and then say that how could the weight's going to affect to the height, like that. And then we can see that all that scattered data points, and then we are trying to see that pattern. Or sometimes you can see the height quantitative data here, which is height, but instead of using a quantitative variable for the x-axis, you're going to use a categorical variable, which is, I'm going to say, gender. See, for male and female. See, then you're going to see how the data are going to be. See, it's going to be like that then. Then you're going to see how that the gender going to affect the quantitative variable. Okay, like that kind of a discussion we built up. But in the very beginning, we're going to talk about one variable at a time. One variable at a time. That variable may be quantitative or numeric. Okay, quantitative or categorical. Okay, that's the idea. So that this one, down the road, we're going to call this one another name. This one we call the outcome variable. Outcome variable. For this variable, we're going to call the explanatory variable. Explanatory variable. Explanatory variable may be either quantitative or qualitative, or quantitative or categorical. See, again, this one is the explanatory variable. This quantitative variable is called the outcome variable. See, like that. You can see that's where we are heading. At the end of the day, that's the whole idea, to build up this kind of a model. This is called the model. This model, that's what we are trying to build up, this model at the end of the day, end of this course. Okay. So in order to do that one, you have to learn about that one variable at a time, and then see how we can incorporate the programming, because that when it's come to that huge data set, we cannot do any kind of a model, cannot be analyzed by hand. People used to do that one long time ago, before this data analytics came into the picture, before the programming came into the picture. People used to do that one. Well, we no longer using that, do anything by hand, people who are expert on these programming languages, because we are dealing with the massive data sets. As I mentioned that here, that you saw here, see, if you want to see that out of this, see, in this setting, okay, this data frame, this is called data frame. See, these are called the variables. See, all the columns are variables. See, look at how many variables: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See, 12 variables. These are variables on columns. On rows, you have the number, that individual. See, first individual, his information. Second individual, third individual. These are called the sample. Row wise, we have the sample. Column wise, we have, excuse me, we have variables, the same variable I'm talking about here. See, so our variables, by looking at these variables, figure out whether these variables gonna be quantitative or qualitative. Let's say household. Would that be quantitative or qualitative? Would that be cont or cat categorical? Okay, that's the see household number. They consist of numbers. See, they consist of numbers. I want to see whether this is going to be belong to here or here. Quantitative means mainly that involved with the numbers. Those numbers can be added, subtracted, and then multiply and then divided, but still you're going to have a meaningful quantity at the end of the day. But this one may also, as I mentioned, as I mentioned earlier, that even on this one, street addresses, it consists of the numbers, no? It consists of the numbers. See? But still it's qualitative because that those numbers cannot be added and subtracted and then get a meaningful quantity again. Okay. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna make sure. Can you see? What happened? Okay, good. Yeah, now you can see. Yeah. So see, so let's go to this one. Household. Would that be quantitative or qualitative, or quantitative or categorical? Kids, vehicle, price expected, income, business expected, financial stability, investment, income. Let's go at least the few of them. See, these are variables. Household variable. Would that be quantitative or categorical? Quant or categorical? Anybody? What do you think? This first variable. Quantitative, no? How about that business expected? See, business expected. This is a variable. See, business expected. It doesn't have a numbers for sure. It is like a kind of like a label. Worse off, better off, worse off. No, qualitative, perfect. Yeah. So that's the main thing that we have to figure out those two in the very beginning. And on the other hand, later on, we can take this word off and then we can put a number, assign a number for that guy. Okay. If you see that kind of a word like a worse off and better off, you're going to say, no, I don't like the worse off or better off. I want to just assign numbers like 1 and 2. But even though you have a 1 and 2 being assigned for that one, that doesn't mean that it is quantitative. It is still qualitative because it's still categorical. Okay, still categorical. Okay, we can do like that. Like a gender, instead of say that male, female, some people are gonna like to assign 0 and 1. 0 and 1. When you see the 0 and 1, doesn't mean, oh, we have a numbers, this should be quantitative. No, it's still qualitative. Okay, like that. See, so that's what we would, out of these, that 12 that variables, at the end of the day, you pick 2 variables and then see how they are related. That's the model we are trying to build up piece by piece. Okay. When we're done with this chapter 7, at that moment, that you are pretty much really good in that, figure out that what we are doing over here. But in the beginning, what we are trying to do, that how to import the data and how to just read the data, those kind of a thing we're going to learn in the very beginning systematically. But get a clear idea about the variables a little bit. As I mentioned over here, when it comes to 2 variables, if you're planning to discuss the relationship between 2 variables, quantitative or quantitative categorical, or now you might be thinking this one. Now you might be thinking, why he pick only 2 variables, 2 types only? Why he not going to think about all the 4 types? What that means? I'm talking about this one. See, I'm telling that when you have for the explanatory variable means like a x variable. It is on the x-axis. The other one is called the outcome variable, which is y. And this one, you can talk about the quantitative or qualitative, which is called the categorical. This one also you can say quantitative or categorical. See, like that. See. So you can find first two, quantitative, your x variable and y variable. I'm talking about x means like whatever you put on x-axis and whatever you're going to put on y-axis, okay? If you put anything on x-axis, that's called the explanatory variable. If you put something on the y-axis, that's called the outcome variable. Based on the given scenario, you're going to pick that the correct one for the explanatory variable, but the correct one for the outcome variable, okay? Anyhow, that if they both are quantitative and quantitative, we normally use the method called the regression. That's what we were trying to do at the end of the day. Then you have like a quantitative and your explanatory variable quantitative, but your categorical variable, look at that. Your explanatory variable categorical, and outcome would be this one, still regression. You can use the regression, okay? Regression, or you can use something called the analysis of variance. Variance, it's been acronym like ANOVA. See, that's what they call. But whatever you're gonna put there, X categorical. Then quantitative variable, X is quantitative. This one categorical, Y variable. This is called the logistic regression. Logistic regression. Then both are categorical. We're gonna use the something called the chi-square test. See, but mainly we cover this one and this one in this class, okay? In this class, we are planning to cover these two, the top two. The regression one, that's a regression. This one called the, see this one called the group regression, sometimes called the group regression. This one is a regular regression. See, those are the two that we are planning to cover throughout this whole course. On the one on the top, that means you have a quantitative explanatory variable, look, qualitative explanatory variable, but it doesn't matter. Your outcome is always quantitative. We're not going to go to logistic regression or chi-squared in this course, okay? So this is where we're going to try to build up these models, one model for this one and this one. The same model will be extended, and this same discussion we're going to extend to the next class, and then we're going to go to that one and then mainly cover the regression part. Here mainly cover this one. Mainly cover this one. Okay, that's it. That's it. They mainly cover this one. Even regression we just barely mention. You normally just get the outcome variable and introduce a categorical explanatory variable only. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. That's why it's not hard. Okay, everything very systematically we can build up piece by piece, and then you're gonna see everything coming easy. Okay, so the other thing is that for every discussion you have to that you get to know that how to this do the everything using R. That's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to that textbook here. See, that's why we were mentioning about the model. Okay, those models we're going to talk about down the road. See, here look at that. What we are learning over here can be that explained through this kind of we can say that this is a confusion matrix, same thing that I've used over here. This is normally we can so that contingency table, this kind of a thing we can call the contingency table. See, contingency table, or sometimes they call the confusion matrix, like a matrix. This one, see, confusion matrix. That's the same thing. Okay, when you have something like that kind of that structure, we call the confusion matrix. So contingency table. Same way, look at this contingency table. What we are trying to do in this course, normally that we have in mathematics or statistics, we have a simple stuff and complicated stuff, or shallow stuff and profound stuff. The stuff that we are doing is not simple and shallow, neither complicated and profound. Complicated and profound stuff are the extremely heavy stuff. See, extremely heavy stuff. The complicated and sometimes shallow stuff are the integral. You have seen that if you have taken any math courses, you have seen integral, derivative, those kind of things. But the simple ones are the basic mathematics or trigonometry. But what we are doing over here, little bit simple but profound. Okay, it has like a kind of like a deep meaning. Okay, so like that. Okay. Here that they were trying to show this one with like a Pythagoras theorem and say that if you get this is the right triangle, you have this side and this side, that if you square this side and this side and add it together, that would be same as the square of this one. That's the simple part. That's the simple explanation. Excuse me. If you want to do that one in profoundness on that one, profoundly, you're gonna say not like that. You don't say simply not like that. You're gonna say the area of the square on this side plus the area of the square on the other side. If you add together, that would be the same as the area of the square drawn on the hypotenuse. That's the idea. That's the profoundness. But if you want to say simply for that one, you can simply say a squared plus b squared is same as c squared. See, a squared plus b squared is c squared. That's simple way of telling something. And if you want to add some kind of a depth for that one, you're going to say not like that. You're going to say that a squared is nothing but the area on the square of one side. That's the b squared is nothing but the area of this square. And they both, if you add together, that is same as the area of the square drawn on the hypotenuse. This is the longest side on a right triangle is called the hypotenuse. Okay, so that's the same way here. You can explain to that anything simply, or you can add some propoundedness for that one. Okay, so when you're going to write your answers, you make sure that keep that one in your mind. We are not expecting complicated stuff. We are expecting some kind of a depth to that one. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. These are some kind of some understanding and everything, and then see. I don't think this is important. Why we are using R? That's here we say that instead of using that other languages, why we are using R. See, speaking down, he says, speaking of doing, how are you going to do the data analysis part of the course? The answer is you are going to use R. See, R is a free open source coding language, commonly used by statisticians. But open source means that R was developed and is maintained not by a company, but by the community. See, it can be easily and freely that access. See, here, see, we choose to use R for two reasons. First, it's free. Second, it's coding language. See, it's a coding language, so that some functions are built in, or everything has been written with another language. You know that one. Okay, this R has been written with the aid of another, with a powerful mathematical programming language. But it's not the case. But those are most of that functions not being that not available. Sometimes they come like a packages. Sometimes if not, that's why we are using that one. See, it's a coding. You have to write the code. In SAS, that sometimes it's a built-in functions you have. Sometimes even for the SAS, even on SAS, you can just type into the codes. Okay, that's a different thing. Okay, look at this on the data camp that we are using that, since that this book has already embedded this the data camp, the sandbox for us to run this R. We can easily see that what's going to happen. You see, you're going to use this function. See, this is called the function. See, this is function. See, for example, here's a bit of R, what we sometimes refer to as the code. See, read the code in the window below. What do you think it will do? Press run button and see what happens. See, click anywhere in the script R. See, script R is called the editor. You can edit over here. See, you can cut and then you can paste again if you want. See, you can do that one. Then this part is called the function. See, on this code, This part is the function. This part is called the argument. See, argument. See, inside the argument, you're supposed to put that what you're supposed to run, okay? So that if you put something within this inverted commas and run and see what you're gonna get, see, it will just exactly show that print what you really want you to print. Let's say you're gonna take this inverted comma out. What do you get? Nothing. See, error message. Let's say I'm gonna take the other one out too. What's happened? Error message. That means that since this is a string, or this is what? From here to here. This is like a string. This is called a string. See? Characters. See? Character variable. See? Categorical variable, character variable. These are characters. See? Character variable. Just to see. String or character. See? The same thing. Okay? Categorical, character, string. Pretty much same thing. Okay? So look at that. That one has to be within double inverted commas or single inverted comma. Okay, let's run this one and see. Okay, let's run now this one, run and see that within single inverted comma. Still working, but they're gonna take that one as it is. Doesn't matter whether you put the single inverted comma or double inverted comma, doesn't matter. It's gonna just give this the string or the, see, character variable. See, these are characters. See, the English alphabet. See, so that's how they. Now we're gonna go to something called that. Let's try this one too, this function, and see what's gonna happen. See, without the print, without printing, if you type in this one, okay, let's say that I'm gonna take this out and then see what's gonna happen. See, you don't get anything. So sorry. Okay, that I'm gonna just that side came with the tool. Okay, let's go down. This one. See, still it works. You don't have to say print. See, still works. Okay, let's say without this one, without. See, doesn't work. Without inverted commas doesn't work because this is a string. This is a character. See, I put either single invert comma or double invert comma. Single inverted comma or double inverted comma doesn't matter. See, it's gonna print. You don't have to give the function. Still, it's gonna print as it is with the double inverted comma. See, let's try this one. Sum. I want to add 1 plus 5 plus 10, all the three numbers. See, it's not the three numbers. We might gonna have like a tons of numbers, like millions of numbers. How could you gonna add? You cannot get this done by hand. That's why we are using some kind of a code. See, sum, run, and see what you're gonna get. See, 16. 5 plus 1 plus 5 plus 10. See, sum. See, they are adding this one. Let's say that we do some kind of adjustment to this one. Instead of comma, I'm going to put the plus sign inside. What's going to happen? See, still works. See, still works. Either you put the comma and put the numbers, or plus sign, or simply without anything, I'm going to put 1 plus 5 plus 10. Would that give you the number? Yeah, the first 16 for the first one, second 16 for this one. Okay, see, you still get that. So that means that operation, this mathematical operation works very well. You don't need this one, but this is going to be very useful. Let's say that you want to. Okay, I'm going to show you another one too. I'm going to make some changes to this one. Okay. We'll keep the space and let's get the sum 1 comma 5 comma 1 comma 5 comma 10. That work? No, could not find this. See this function. That's the command or function. Why? Because remember, unlike SAS, this guy R is very case sensitive. Very case sensitive. You have to make sure you use the lowercase s, otherwise it won't work. See how it works. That means this 316 this one, and this one. Okay, that's why we got like that. See, it gave the error. Okay, make sure. See, let's say that you want to find the first sum of first 50 numbers. How could you gonna write the code? First 50 numbers. Sum of first 50 numbers, 100 numbers. First starting from 1 all the way up to 50 or all the way up to 100. Those numbers you're gonna add together and then get the answer. See, but how do you get? You're gonna write like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, you see. If you do this one, you see, can you put the dot and say 3 dots and comma 50? Can you do like that? Incorrect context. Can I do like that? No, you have to make sure you give all the numbers. So it's tedious, time consuming. It costs a lot that you cannot do like that. You cannot keep typing like all the numbers. You have to find a different mechanism. How are you gonna do? Anybody? Anybody has any idea how to add the first 50 numbers? Yep, that's right, no? 1 to 50, no? Let's put this one. Okay, there you go. See? 1 to 50 means like the program's gonna take systematically all the numbers. Oh, those numbers are discrete, okay? 1, 2, 3, discretized, as I mentioned on this one. See, discrete, okay? Here under the classification I mentioned about you. See, discretized. Discrete means like there's no gap. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Number of that customers gonna get into a bank, a restaurant, like that. Discrete. You don't have a decimals or fractions or radicals or the powers for that discrete numbers. Okay, just like why you're gonna count. Same way that you go over here and then you're gonna look for the 1 to 50. The program will take 1, 2, 3 all the way up to 50. See, would that be right? How could you gonna double check and see whether this is right or wrong? Do we have any? Do you know any mathematical equations to get this verified? Have you learned any mathematical equation to? I'm not expecting you to know that one, but I am saying that if you really want to verify that one, is that right or wrong? Do we know that at least the first one we know that 1 plus 5 plus intuitively or by counting first 3 numbers and say, hey, it's 16. But when you add 1 to 50, how could you know this number is right or wrong? Where this number comes? How could you gonna find the number? You know that somebody found that very well mechanism in mathematically that if you have a number, see, 1 plus 2 plus, okay, 3 plus dot plus, let's say 50. I'm gonna put 3 dots. That's 3 dots or 3 ellipses means a continuation. You know that one. Okay, this 3. You put only 3. Okay, that's the way how we're gonna do that. This one, what they did was they take the first number and the last number. They're going to add together and they divided by 2 and then multiply by what? How many numbers? 50 numbers. See? That's what they did. So then, see, number of, see, how many numbers? N. Let's say how many numbers? N. So, like a sample size. See, we're going to talk about sample size. N. N is 50. These are the data points, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 50. First number we can call the A, last number we can call L. As a formula, we can say sum would be nothing but N A plus L divided by 2 times N. That's the formula I use. look at there's a reason for that one. I'll tell you that one. Let's simplify this one and say, see, 25, 51 times 25, 21 times 25. This one 2, 25 times 5, 125, 125, 127, 1270. That's right. That's right. So you know that how they got the number. See the formula. See 1 and 50. If you add how much? 51. 2 plus 49. If you add, you get the 51 still. This doesn't. That's how this one. They found this formula. You will be surprised who came with the formula. This formula came that this mathematician when he was in kindergarten. He's Carl Gauss. He's the king of mathematics. When he was in kindergarten, he found that one because the teacher asked that, would you tell me what's the sum of the first 100 numbers? What he did was he added the first number and the last number and then that kind of a set. He saw that 1 and 100 is 101, 2 and 99 is 101, 3 and 97 is 98 is 101, and then he divided by 2 because the two sets coming into together. So that's right. Okay. So anyhow, that we can verify like that way that by looking at this, we have a mechanism. That's why that statistics being heavily supported by the mathematics. Mathematics being supported by the logics. In the very beginning, we had the logics, and the mathematics based on logic and the stat based on mathematics. But we don't worry about the mathematical part because we have a programming languages to take care of everything. Okay. So that's why they were talking about here. See, this is the script window type. Your R code here, script R tab at the top of it. See, you're gonna write over here. This is the console window. Look for the result. There's the same thing like that on this R Studio. Pretty much the same thing. See, you're gonna type in here. You're gonna see the result here. As I mentioned earlier. See, you type in here. You're gonna see the result. Okay. See, you type in something here. See. If you want, you can resize that one. Okay, those are ways. If you want, see, you can resize. That's what they were talking about. That window. See, like this. Look at these ones. The mathematical operation. Would that gonna happen? Let's see. Mathematical operation. The program has been set up in such a way that will we get that answer? Yes. See, 5 plus 1 6. 10 minus 3 7. See. See, this is the multiplication, this one. Especially division. Look at the division. I'm going to little bit get this down. 9 times 3. 9 divided by 3. How about this one? That let's say that 10 divided by, I'm going to put 10 divided by, excuse me, 4. Okay. The last one. Okay. I'm focusing on the division, 2.5. So that one. Okay. Then I'm going to think of getting 10, see, this one divided by this one. See, look at what happened. See, look at what I did. I still have a division, but before and after division, I put the percentage sign. See, that would produce you what? Just the discrete part, just the first part called the quotient. When you divide 10 by 4, you get the first, this part called the quotient. You know that one, no? That's the two thing. When you divide 10 by 4, see? See? 10 divided by 4, this is 2, 8. I'm sorry, I want to check that one. 10 divided by 4. 10 divided by 4. Yeah. See. So this is the call. This is called the quotient. Quotient. This is called the remainder. You know that remainder is the divisor. So this is the dividend. See, like that. No, that they're gonna give you that quotient part. So, okay, you're talking about, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have a look at it. This one, okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's type that one. See, this one, we're talking about that just one or two. I'm sorry. See, they both could give you this just the quotient part. That's what I'm telling. Quotient only. See, quotient only. See this part. Okay, not the remainder. The remainder later on we're not gonna stop over here. Can you remember we're supposed to put another 0 and bring this down and 20 for the 20 that we're gonna get the 5. That one I didn't do because that's how you're gonna have in the decimal form. But if you basically for the first time if you divide 10 by 4, you're gonna have a 2 4s and then you are left over with the 2. The leftover is called the remainder. See, but that 2 you see over here is this 2. See, that's that. See, those operations gonna happen too. Okay. So then see data camp, see, then the data camp sandbox is over. You can go to the data camp and then see Jupyter. They were talking about the Jupyter and the data camp studio. So sorry, data camp and sandbox and then Jupyter. We mentioned that one in the very beginning. How do you gonna get these IDs and then run R? See. These are R Studio and Jupyter notebooks are IDs. Okay, as I mentioned in the very beginning. Okay. See, our functions, as we mentioned, we already saw the function. See, we already saw the function. See, so far you know how to print some words and do some basic arithmetic in R. One of the great things about R is there are a lot of built-in commands or functions. Commands are called the functions that you can use. These are called functions. Functions are written by the open source community. See, that means anybody can add the function and then set up some function and then they upload into the system. Okay, that's how that we get so many of functions. Okay, see, print and some other two functions. See, functions have two basic parts. The first part is the name of the function. See, that's the name. This is the function name. Second part is the what? This is second part is the input. Input part is called the argument. See, we call that one is argument. See, input. This is the name of the function. Print and sum. Say print is a function. Sum. The computer or the machine knows that what to do. That when you give this command, because of that, it's been programmed in such a way that writing with like another heavy code to do the calculations. Okay. Here we put in some instructions. Okay. Inside the argument we give the see something. Okay. Write your code as new line under each command. See? So look at on this one. There's this hashtag or this one. That means like this is not gonna work. Okay, these are just for the comments. For the comments, you use this one. Okay, hashtag. Use the sum function to add the numbers 5, 10, and 15. Use the print function to print the word hello. Okay, that means we can get the sum here. Okay. Paste here. Sorry. You don't have to do that, and you can type in. It's easy. Okay, 5, 10, 15, and print. See, it's a string. See, correct. See, these are numerical. See, these are quantitative. These are qualitative. See, look at the way that how they built up. Okay, then let's run. See, this will give you 30. This will give you hello. See, sometimes see, R is picky. Sorry about that. You see, you cannot put the capital S, as I mentioned. It's very case sensitive. It won't give you any answer. Make sure that you use the simple lowercase s. See, you don't find that function. See, you have to close the parentheses and make sure that everything has been written within that left parenthesis and the right parenthesis. That argument has to go inside that one. That's called the input. Okay, otherwise it won't work as well. See, it doesn't work. Error message. See, so see, you can possibly memorize all the R functions. That's why you are supposed to have the packages. Packages will, some functions that you don't know, those functions will contains within the packages. If you go to some package and then if you install the package, that package will carry unnecessary functions. What are the packages you are supposed to install for this our course? You can remember if we go to let's see this one. Okay. To see which functions, which packages will carry that pretty much all the some necessary functions. Okay. I'm sorry. We can, this one. See, source environment console. Here they were talking about that every information that we're talking about. Yep. See, these are the packages you really need to install. How do you install the package? You're gonna type in install.packages within double inverted commas. You write the name of the package. If you just planning to install pretty much everything at the same time, you're gonna do this one like this way. Multiple packages at once. Install packages. Packages equals C means combine or concatenate. See, like a vector. But this vector is with the what? Strings or categorical data. See, DP says we're gonna write that names. Names you are supposed to write within this double inverted comma. See, dplyr, ggplot, ggformula, mosaic, supernova, ISR, log5 data, log5 with R. See, occupied data, DSLab. See, 538. Mainly, I'm using dplyr, ggplot2, ggformula, mosaic, and supernova up to here. You really need. If you have not installed that one, make sure you should install on that R, and then you can recall that one by calling them by the library. See, this is how you're going to load the packages on R. Like for instance, that I'm going to show you here. See, this is what I was doing. See, let's say that if I want the mosaic, see, I install the mosaic for this to get this done. That for the homework one mainly. See, I install the mosaic package. See, I'm going to run this one for you to see on this side. See, look at the results you can see on the console. Okay. See, installing. See, it's not enough. Now you have to get that package onto that your platform or to the ID. Call the you are loading now. See, by putting this function library mosaic. You don't need that double inverted commas inside that. See? When you recall library, that will bring the function that you really need in order to run that your program. That means like if you really plan to find the mean, you cannot get the mean. That mean is coming with this package mean. See, binomial test, correlation test, covariance, phi number, IQR, median, proportion test, quantile, standard deviation, t-test, variance, maximum, minimum. See, mean. See, the production, this one here, production, range, sample, sum, everything come within that that package. You have to install the package. You have to load the package onto your platform. Okay, that's what they meant. These two has to be done. Okay, you install the package, you get the library, and through the library you're gonna load that one. That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying. See, whatever you installed on the other side, see, Now you're going to recall them. Library, TPL, dplyr, ggplot2, ggformula, supernova. It's best thing for you to that install everything at least up to this point. Everything, and then keep on your that ID or that on your RStudio. In that way you can recall that one whenever it is needed. Okay. That's what they're telling about the packages. Packages will contains the necessary functions, like the functions like that commands that we really need. Let me see where I was doing. Sorry that I have so many pages open. Look like where's the one? No. Okay, looks like I don't see that, and that's okay. I can get that one from here. See, that's what they were talking about, the R packages. So that here, that the advantage on that working on this DataCamp, that sandbox that embedded in this textbook, all the packages are already installed and then they have been called to, or they're loaded onto the system. Okay, you don't have to do anything. Look at that, what they are trying to do. They are trying to use this function, rflip. What that means? Excuse me. rflip. Okay. Before I came to that one, I would like to that little bit since that it's related to this one. Okay. Because this before this one, I want to show this one. How to import data into your. See, make sure that how do you get the data? Data that in, like, let's say that your first assignment. Okay, this is a first assignment. Okay, homework, first homework. Wherever that you have the data, how could you gonna get into that or the import into this RStudio? Okay, this is how I'm doing. I have given a name for that one. It's called the object. We're gonna call that one object. It's been assigned. This is called assignments operator. So that will be assigned to this one. See, I'm going to call that on my data location. My data location. But how could you going to get this directory? Where this directory come from? This is the where that I have saved my data. Save my data. That means I have a I show you. See. See. Look at this. I have this the flash drive I go to the NRC 600. See, then under that one, this should be not be February. That should be now. I have April. I'm going to change that from April 21. 600 April 20. See, April 21. Under that one, I have assignments. See, then assignments, then homework. Then homework, then week 1. See, I went to that all the way to down to that folder, week 1. Not the data. You don't put the data. You go to that folder where your data would be. See, you can use a see / see / But how could that be get that? How could we know that path? Where is the path? That is the path for my data. How could you gonna get the path? You go to data. See, this is an Excel sheet, spreadsheet. I'm gonna right click, go to properties, and see, I'm gonna copy the location. See, copy the location. Okay, copy. Okay, and bring over here. And let's say that I didn't have this one earlier. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna write this one within double inverted commas and this one. Look at it, it's been like that. It doesn't have the way that it's been given saved the directory has been given with the backslash, see? But over here, I'm using the forward slash for a reason, because otherwise I cannot set up my working directory cannot be changed. Okay, that's why I'm going to change this one to, by any chance, okay, let's say for instance, I'm going to take this out. Take this out, and I'm trying to run this one, and then this folder has been now named, this folder has been named as a my data location. See, that's a new name. Okay, I'm going to run and see what's going to happen. See, error. An error. They say what? It doesn't recognize. A is an unrecognized escape because it's too close. I'm going to say, look at what I'm going to do. I leave some space. This, okay, let's say that will it work? No, still have the same problem with this guy. Give the space. See? So now this a problem. See? Now H has a problem. See? See? Now let's say what's going to happen. W has a problem. See? Yes. See? Now work. Okay? Now works. See? This means like you don't see any that mistakes over here. See? It works very well. If otherwise, that it's going to show you that error over here on this console. I'm going to now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the directory. This is called the directory. This path is called the directory. See? Set working directory. I'm going to set my working directory. Directory means my folder as this one. Because I'm trying to get all the information from that directory, that folder. See, let's see, I can do any that change. See, set this one. I'm going to set this one working directory. Set working directory, my data location as my folder. That's how it says. This WD stand for working directory. No, error. Cannot change the working directory. Why? If you go to the files, you can see I'm on a different directory. See? This directory, this one week 1, but it doesn't show that, it doesn't come to that directory. They say they cannot change. Okay, so look at here. Now what would be the remedy? They said you cannot change the directory, or that set that working directory. Error, cannot change working directory because I'm working in a different directory. It cannot take that one. That's why, that's the very reason I'm gonna get this back. Look at what I did. I'm using forward slash, see, with tied up to that, see, close to each other, doesn't matter. I use this one. See, I'm going to take this out now and use with the forward slash. See, good. See, no mass error. See, no more errors. See, that's the very reason. Even though originally you had this one, originally when you copied from that your directory, you didn't have this one either. It was so, see, close to each other like this with the backslash. See, backslash. Later on we realize, okay, backslash works, but with some space between the okay, like that. See, so not this one. First has to be, see. Give this one, that worked. And that works means like it's gonna read that data at that wherever that I have saved from that location, and we're gonna give a new name for my data location. But now I wanna make my data location as my new directory. It didn't work if you use this way. That's why I have to use the forward slash. See, and like this, it's okay. See, you're gonna read from the where I have saved the data. It's going to read that location and then give the new name, my data location. You can use any name that you want. Those are called the object. Okay, we're going to come to that one later. But when I try to set that my data location as my working directory, WD stands for the working directory, it didn't work. That's why I find the remedy. What's the remedy? Remedy would be this one. Okay. User forward slash, doesn't matter, tight up that close to each other. See, that works. See? This works, and this works. Both works. Now I'm going to read the data using this one. See, read.csv. See, comma separated. See, variable. Comma separated variable means even though you have this one in this data set within these columns, originally they were on a notepad. They were on a notepad. Okay, they were on a notepad like this, but the comma, 6 comma, 2 comma, 3 comma, 5 comma, 2 comma, verse of comma, stocks comma, 36 comma, like that in the beginning. Later on they got like this. That's why it's called the comma separated variables. See? See that value or comma separated variable or the value, mainly the value. You're going to read from where your data location. See, you don't have to go to this path anymore. You're going to look at this path that already been assigned as my data location. See, my data location. See, then you're going to do what? You're going to read from there. See, my data location, go to that one and consumer data. That's the name of the data set, consumer data.csv. Or you can use this one. We get the header as well, because the header means it's going to come along with this title. Okay, you need that title as well. Okay, see, that's how you're going to read the data. That if you want to read the data, you can either read this way or this way. That will, you can easily get the data. Then you can display the data, whole data set. You don't need a whole data set. You can get the first 6 entries only up to the here. See, first 6 entries. If you need that one, you use a command called, see, and this new data I don't call the consumer data. If you want, you can call the consumer data again. It's been assigned to my data for my convenience. See? Been assigned to my data. And then you're going to go ahead and read the head of my data means, see, look at that. If you run this one, see my data, and then if you run this guy, head, it will show you first 6 entries. If you put the tail of that my data, see, I'm going to call that data, not consumer data, my data. That would, see, you don't have even type that, is going to pop up over there. See, last 6, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. Okay, that's what they were talking about here. But this is, there was kind of a that in order to that do that the other things, you really need the function. See, this is also a function. See, this is also a function. Head is a function. Tail is a function. Command, we give the command. See, these are commands. See, it's a command. See, it's a command. See, if you want, you can get that working directory and see that what's the working directory would be. See, they show you working directory with that command. See, with that command. So here they are using that. They say that please install the Mosaic package I mentioned about. Okay, the Mosaic package. If you install that one, and then if you're going to load that one into the system, you can easily get what? These functions can be run. What that rflip means. See, let's see what that rflip means. Before that one, let's see that a little bit. Save you. This is the way that how you're going to save the work. Okay, I'll come back to the rflip. Okay, I want to do this one first. Let's say that you save your work in R object, same like that I did. See, you instead of that talking about the 20, if you really want to use the 20 again and again and again, you don't have to type in 20. You can give a name for that one. See, you can give a name. See, that this is called the object. See, See, this is called the assignment operator. See, assignment operator is this one. This is called the assignment operator. An arrow, see, towards the left side. See, this is called the object, our object. That the name of whatever the name you have given called our object. This is the assignment operator. That's the same thing I did over here, as I mentioned over here. This is my R object. I gave a name for my folder. I don't say week 1 folder. I'm gonna say that this folder, my data location, because it's easy to work with this name rather than in this one that throughout the whole that assignments you don't have to type in this one again and again and again. Okay, again and again. That's why I'm gonna give a name. It's called the object. See, our object. This is called the assignment operator. You're gonna assign this whole directory, not only the last one, whole directory to this guy. Whenever that you need the directory, you don't have to type in all these again and again. And on the other hand, I made that one as my directory as well. Otherwise, if you don't set this one as your directory, it might be working with another directory you used to work over here. You can check the directory from here. Other way you can check this one is what? See, you can go and type in get WD working directory, and then it's going to show over here what your directory would be if you have a directory, different directory or different path or different folder. Okay. So that's what they were talking about. They say that you don't have to type in 20. They say that 20 will be assigned to, 20 is assigned to this number. Say this is too long. Doesn't matter. That sometimes it's better off to type in with the some kind of a name where that makes sense. In that way, it's not going to get mixed up with the other that variables down the road, because when you're going to work with like a whole assignments or any project, if you don't give the proper name for this, let's say that you can give an X for this one, Y, Z, A, B, anything, doesn't matter. See, so then if you're going to print this one, say you don't need the print. You don't need the print anymore. It will print that one. See, 20. Because you don't have to say that function or the command print to print that 20. Because you recall this one again. See, you recall. You assign 20 for that my favorite number, and you recall here. Then it's going to display here on console. See, look at that one. So the pretty much the same way they were telling us, okay, get some numbers, see, assign 5 to num and 10 to capital num. Okay, 5 to this one. I'm going to put 5 here and 10 for this guy. And now they say print them. If you want to print them, you don't have to type in print. You just recall them, num, and call capital num and run. See, they will display. That's the way how you're going to save your work to another object. This is called object. It's called the assignment operator. Now, instead of one number, you might gonna have a several numbers. See, look at what I did. Several numbers. You can use C to combine these numbers. See, you're gonna put into a vector. So vector gonna come like that row vectors or column vectors most of the time. See, this is the name, some kind of like a vectors mean like it's like the arrangement of numbers vertically and horizontally. Here the way that we have over here, they were that horizontally arranged. See, C stand for the combine or concatenate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My vector. Its name is my vector. You get another one, my vector. Okay. And now write the some code to print out these two vectors. What's the best thing to do? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna for my convenience. I'm gonna get this one and paste, and then okay. I'm gonna recall them. Okay. They will show you that whatever you had inside this vector, this is the vector. This is the same thing that we got that when we were sum. Can you remember when we were say sum? We put your command here. See, C is the command. Combine. C is the command. See here just a number. If you say that, okay, you want to say that, okay, I would say like this, okay. You want to say that you need the sum of sum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or simply you can say 1 to 5, and you want to give a name for that one. I'm going to give a name. I'm going to say that that one is sum. See, sum. If you run, it doesn't show yet. Okay, you have to recall sum. See, sum. Recall, it will display 50. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 15. This 10 and 1, 2, 3, 4 were the previous one, these two, okay, they were repeatedly printing, okay. But this one is for this one, see, instead of this is a function, it's the argument. These are the inputs. You put the inputs inside the argument and then get the result, and instead of typing this one again and again and again, you're going to simply call the sum and recall it, see. We did this part earlier without this one, see. But this one, we did this part only. Now we're going to assign that to a, save that to some kind of object. See, assign with the assign operator, and that comes out. Okay. And it's not enough. You have to recall it, otherwise it won't print. Okay. See, this one say my vector. See, they get these numbers and assign to my vector, and then multiply by 100. See. See, my vector, get the my vector. Okay. Look at the my vector, okay, then multiply by the asterisk 100, then let's see what's going to happen. See, each and every number inside this my vector has been multiplied by 100. See? So rather than that, see, if you want that you get this one, let's see what's going to happen. Get this one and multiply by 100. You get the same thing? Yes. See, it's the last one. So it's easy that if you give a name, see, that's a name. It's not a function. This highlighted part is not a function. It is just a name. Okay. So just a name. See, look at the same thing. See, multiply by and recall that one. That's what they were talking about. See? So now what we're gonna do? You go to the vector and you really need the fourth value. What are you gonna do? See, you go to my vector. Let's say this is my vector. I gave a name for my vector. Okay. So this is the vector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a collection of numbers. They were combined and assigned to my vector. That's the name of the my vector. And I'm interested in what? The fourth value. What are you going to do? You go to my vector, and see, within bracket you go to 4. See? That will give you the fourth value. Let's say that this one is, let's say, 50. I'm going to change that one for you to see something. See? That's the fourth value is 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fourth value of my vector, which is named my dot vector, is given like this. You have, if you when you write that one within brackets, that will give you the location. Go to the fourth location and read it. See, fourth location and read it. So if you that add, see my this one and my vector. If you want to add my vector, that this is in a simple one, okay, that but in a complicated situation, if you want to add this fourth one and the fifth one, see, what do you get? 55 for sure. See, he's going to go to the fourth location and fifth location and read them and then get the value 50 and 5 and add it together. Here 5 within brackets means not the value, the location, okay, within brackets. See, use the sum to total up the value in my vector. How do you do that one? See, you have my vector. See? And you need the now sum. I'm sorry, this one. Sum. See, what are you gonna do? Sum of my vector. Would that be 1500? Would that be 1500? Which one they were going to take as a my vector? Which one? Okay, they were taking the last one that we had. See, that's why we have a 1500. Okay, I'm gonna get this one. Okay, I'm gonna get this vector. I'm gonna get first one, and then just sum of my vector. Then you get the 50. See, because not this one. Okay, this is the number that came out. See, this vector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, sum. Rather than you can put the, if you want, you can put the sum here. See, like that. But if you, rather than repeatedly write in the vector, you can give a name. Say, if you want, you can give, see, x. Look at x is C 1 through 5. C 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then if you need the sum of x, 50. Like that. You see, that's how you're gonna see this one. See, that's we talk about this one earlier. Rather than writing this one with the 1 through 10 with this vector, you can write this way too. See, first, okay, 10 numbers. See, then they don't show anything unless you're gonna type in. See, unless you're gonna recall them. See, you have to recall them. You have to print out. You have to see. Recall them. That's how you're gonna print out. See, they give you either this way or that way. Doesn't matter. Both ways you're gonna talk about this vector. Then look at the characters now. It's a vector of characters. See. But make sure that within that one, you're going to write the characters or string within double inverted commas. See, and you're going to give that one to what? See, you assign the new name, many hellos. See, if you recall that one, it will print. See, different way of saying hi, hello, say hola, say bonjour, see, hi, hail, see, marhaba. Like that. See, look at that. If you need that on this one, if you need that fourth entry, sorry, this one, many hellos on the fourth entry. Let's see what's going to happen. See? Bonjour. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth one. String. It's a categorical. Doesn't matter. Numerical. Doesn't matter. Still, you can put it into like a vector. And like that collection of that strings or collection of numbers. See, when you make sure if it is a string or character, only thing that you have to do, write everything within double inverted commas or single inverted comma and put the comma. See. Now look at that. This is a Boolean. Boolean means you're going to double check and see whether this is true. You go to many hellos, first entry, equal sign. Look at how we're going to write the equal sign in programming. Two double equals and say hi, whether this is true or false. That's I call the Boolean. Boolean means whether true or false. See, look at the true, because your first entry in this way, this one is hi. Look at, if I put another one, hello. See, false. The first entry of my object many.hellos is not hello. It should be hi. Oh, look at what I'm going to do. Okay, look at, I'm going to do another different thing. I'm going to put exclamation mark and put equal sign. I'm going to say many.hellos. First one is not hello. is not hello, not. Would that be true or false, that statement? True statement. Why? The first entry is not hello. First entry is not hello. See, many hello, see, first entry is not hello. Is not hello is hi. That's true. If I put hi, I'm gonna say the first entry is not hello. No, that's false. Statement is false because that first entry is hi. See, this is how you're gonna say not is not. See, this one equals the other one. See, sorry, then equals. You can say first entry, fourth. No, that's a different thing that we're talking about here. So you're saying this. But one first one equals high. That we should be, see, not equal high is false. Equals high, true. See, I'm talking about this one and this one. Not equals high, no. It should be. We're gonna say it is not high, but it is high, the first entry. That's a false statement. That's called the Boolean. We're gonna next one. We're gonna say it equals high. Yes, they say yes. See, like that. See, look at here. Another one. See, A been assigned to, see, 1. B, 1 has been assigned to A. 5 has been assigned to B. Now you're gonna compare. You're gonna say, I'm gonna say A greater than B. A greater than B, and then that result has been assigned to this compare. They give a name, okay? This comparison has been assigned to this guy, and I'm gonna recall that one and see whether there's a true or false. That's false because the A is less than B. See? If I change this one to less than, that statement is true, like that. Okay. So those are called Boolean. See, excuse me. See. So the another one. See, look at the 1 to 10. Then my numbers greater than 5 has been assigned to, see, my Boolean. See, my numbers greater than 5, and my numbers and my Booleans. Let's say my numbers what? My Booleans would be what? Okay, let's run and see what you get. Aha, see. You see, my numbers are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That 1 to 10 has been called the my dot numbers. And here's the code to check the number element of the vector. My numbers is greater than. See, you just check only. See, you're gonna check whether your my numbers are greater than or equals to 5 or not. Yes or no. But it has a name as well. It's called my Booleans. So you get the number. Let's say first one, 1 greater than 5, false. Get the second number, 2 greater than 5, false. Third number, greater than 5, false. Fourth number, greater than 5, greater than or equals, I'm sorry, greater than or equals 5, false. 5 greater than or equals to 5, yes, true. And so do with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, look at how could you get the Boolean expression. You just, if you put something like this and recall that one, see, it will give you this one. Let's say that for instance, without giving these numbers, you simply put that, see, you're gonna say C 1 to 10. And you're gonna say you don't have a number, way to that, check that one. That's the reason that we put this name, see. Now you can see. If you want to check that each and every number, it's very hard to check each and every number. It's easy if you assign whole set of numbers to my numbers and let the machine to do one by one rather than we doing that one for wasting time. See, my number, see, look at, go to my number, he's going to pick one at a time rather than we doing by manually. He's doing everything by the machine's going to do everything and then assign to this guy and see, assign like a vector, see, and give you the result for each and every one. See, that's easy. That's the very reason this assignment, the assigning this one to another object or another name is very important. Okay. This one, look at this one. Phi has been assigned to B. Phi has been assigned to this one. Now we're gonna say A equals B. Would that be true or false? Phi equals phi. See what happened over here. See, what do you expect from this code? Run the code to see what happens. See, you know the reason. What's the mistake over here? Anybody? What's the mistake over here? Phi has been assigned to A. Phi has been assigned to B. I'm gonna compare that one and see whether A equals B. Ah, yeah. See, you need another one. That's it. See? Sorry. See, that's the reason. See, then it's gonna say, so equal sign means like a double. See, equal sign. The program doesn't know. When you put one equal sign, you have to put double. Okay, like that. Okay, let's see. This goes end of the chapter. See, so that's why I think that we are pretty much in a good shape. That because that this is chapter 1. And then chapter 2 I can go through on Thursday, and the Wednesday I can meet you that and then go through that homework and more material. Okay, if you guys join for that session, that it's going to be very beneficial. And that's kind of like slowly and steadily we are just we didn't do too much. We just means barely the mention about some 2 codes, sum, and then 2 or 3 codes, sum and print, and then how to assign that one and come with the new number. And then I just slightly showed you that how that get the data imported into this one. I'm going to go through this one in detail on Wednesday. Then and then show you that I can help you out to do your homework. Okay, it's not a big deal. So any questions? I think that then we can stop over here. Any questions? Anything that you want to discuss? That anything is not clear, or anything that you would like to know? If not, let's stop the class over here. I'm gonna wind up, and then I'm gonna let you go. You guys have a nice, the great. I mean, like a. It's a, I think, good night over there, and then good night, and then stay safe and be well. Okay, see you guys on either on Wednesday or the Thursday. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good night. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Okay, take care. Thank you very much. Thank you.